Banking. In the past, the gold or silver standard was used as money for the fair exchange of goods since there was a limited amount of these precious metals. Later in history, the receipts of the stored bullion was used as currency for the exchange of goods and services. Fractional reserve banking was then introduced with compound interest, whereby 10% of actual reserves were used and fortunes were made through the creation of debt. The dollar then became legal tender and not tied to anything of value. Today we have fiat currency, which means that the governments allow the bankers to print out infinite amounts of money out of thin air to purchase everything with no real way of paying the balance due. In omniscience, banking would be based on actual reserves that could be available for usage. No money, receipt, or coupon would be required, nor would compound interest be involved. Just resources. A proper investment of outlay would be required for maintenance and growth. Accounting records have traditionally been kept and reported on a monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis, but with the use of computer apps, they could be updated to the second. In this way, the availability of all the supplies required would be known, which would help in determining distribution. In simple bookkeeping, we have two columns, a debit and a credit. The net or debt is determined by subtracting the debit from the credit, which would enable you to determine the availability of stocks for upcoming developments. Goods could be instantly acquired as necessary for planned jobs in the required quantities. All expenditures could be explained for, and all transactions could be completed with the use of a laptop. The new products could be reassessed and waste recycled and tallied accordingly. Individual status would be automatically computed for quantity and quality of work along with other economic factors. Since alternative sources of renewable oil, gas, and energy could be made to meet demands, all that would be required would be other raw materials which could exceed requirements over time as we discovered simpler ways to do hard things. As we improve cold fusion energy / transmutation devices, necessary metals and minerals could become cheap and readily available. Things like the use of monatomic gold and the development of superconductivity would drastically drop the need for power, thereby lowering the cost of everything down to next to nothing. There would be little to no inflation, even as we would be spreading out. More amounts would be used and still more yielded, thereby creating a debtless economy with the potential for sustainability. This banking system could be applied on a universal scale.